So continuing with Manyasthambha, the term or the condition Manyasthambha, I'm including what Acharya Sushruta has mentioned about Manyasthambha. He has given Manyasthambha as a separate condition arising due to nidanas like Diva Swapna, Asamasthana, Vivrto Urdhva, Nirikshane, day sleep, especially in irregular posture sleeping and looking in upward direction for long periods, for all those causes which causes severe strain and stress to the cervical area. Then Vata either can vitiate alone or it gets avrita by kapha, Shleshmana avrita. Manyasthambha prakrite sa eva Shleshmana avrita. So either it vitiates alone or it gets avrita by kapha and produces stiffness in the neck. So it's a condition called as Manyasthambha mentioned by Sushruta. So the term Manyasthambha again, it is the stiffness of the cervical area. So mostly all these cervical muscles and the spine might be included producing stiffness. So all those conditions in which the cervical spine and the cervical muscles are included can be included under this condition of Manyasthambha. So there's a condition called a cervical dystonia again. Dystonia. It can be included under the term Manyasthambha. Then injury, any injury according to a cervical area or due to stress and strain due to the occupational disorders or anything like looking upward direction, that is Urdhva Nirikshana for longer periods. So all these conditions can be correlated. In neck dystonia, you can see in the diagram as there is four types of neck dystonia. It's torticollis, that is the sternocleidoid mastoid muscle gets contracted, and the face and the head turn towards that muscle anteriorly. That is torticollis. Then laterocollis is again the group of cervical muscles in the uh, lateral area is involved, and retrocollis and anticollis. Retrocollis is upward and anticollis is downward stiffness of the cervical area. So we will continue with Hanu Graha, explained in Ashtanga Hridaya. Hanu means jaw and Hanu Graha is stiffness in the jaw or the joints of the jaw. So Jihwa Nirlekhana Shushka Pakshana Abhighadata. So reasons told as Jihwa Nirlekhana. That is an improper and forceful protrusion of tongue while cleaning the tongue. If it is done daily, then Shushka Pakshana, eating dry foods, and if it is a habit, then Abhighatata, injury to the jaw. So by all these reasons, the vitiated vayu affects the Hanumula Pradesha. Hanumula Pradesha and does the loosening of that joint, samsana or loosening of the Hanu. Karoti Vivrutasitvam Adava Samvradasitvam. Vivrutasitva is the mouth either remains open or Samvrata, or it is tightly closed always, depending on the position when it was affected. Hanugraha Satena, the condition is called as Hanugraha. Syat Krichra Charvana Bhashanam. The patient will feel difficulty in chewing and speaking. So that is Hanugraha. It can be correlated to a condition called as trismus or lockjaw. It is due to a spasm of muscles of the jaw area. Then any arthritic joint disorders affecting the jaw, or mostly the infectious disorders like tetanus and meningitis, etc. So this is a lockjaw or trismus is a common condition in tetanus. Jihwasthambha is another condition where the Vakvahini Sira is affected. Vakvahini, the siras which are responsible for production of speech, etc. So Vakvahini Sira Samsto Jihvam Stambhayade Anlaha. Jihwasthambha Satena Annapana Vakyeshu Anishata. So when Vayu affects the Vakvahini Siras, there is Thamba of Jihwa or the tongue, and it causes Annapana Vakyeshu Anishata. Anishata is Asamarthya or incapability to eat food or speech. So difficulty in food intake is called as dysphagia, and difficulty in speech is called as dysarthria or impaired vocal articulation. So these are the symptoms of Jihwasthambha. Jihwasthambha, as the Lakshana says, there is difficulty of speech as well as difficulty in intake of food, that is dysarthria and dysphagia is present. It can be correlated to a condition called as bulbar palsy. It's a neurological condition. It's a neurological disease. That is bulbar palsy. Palsy means paralysis. So bulbar palsy is meant by as a lower motor neuron palsy. So the bulbar indicates brainstem. So because the brainstem is just like a shape of a bulb, so that area is called as bulbar area. So bulbar palsy relates to the motor neurons that arises from the brainstem area. So any uh, injury or any lesions in the brainstem like stroke, tumor, or neurodegenerative diseases like amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, etc., or autoimmune disorders, or infectious disorders like poliomyelitis, uh, etc. It can cause bulbar palsy. So autoimmune conditions like Guillain-Barré syndrome, myasthenia gravis, and infectious neuropathies like poliomyelitis, I told earlier, diphtheria, etc. So all these conditions, it can cause bulbar palsy, which affects the lower motor neurons, that is the nuclei of cranial nerves 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, cranial nerves 9, 10, 11 and 12. That is glossopharyngeal, vagus, accessory and hypoglossal. These are the nerves which are affected in bulbar palsy. And when it is affected, all the areas which it supplies, the lower motor neuron supplies, is affected, and it leads to various kinds of symptoms, including the main symptoms include dysarthria, that is difficult to speech, dysphonia, that is phonation difficulties, and dysphagia, that is difficulty in eating food or intake of food. Here the facial expressions remains normal, but the person will feel dysarthria, dysphonia and dysphagia. So it is similar to the conditions that is explained in Jihwasthambha. Another condition is called as pseudobulbar palsy. It is very much similar, but the upper motor neuron is affected here. That is, the corticobulbar tract is affected. Corticobulbar tract means from the cerebrum to the brainstem. So all the tract which arises from the cerebrum area to the brainstem is called as cortex to bulbar. So again, the reasons can be similar, like stroke or any neurodegenerative diseases like amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or supranuclear palsy. Multiple sclerosis can be a reason. Then any injury or malignancy to the higher brainstem, plus the corticobulbar tract. So higher brainstem can also include in the lesions, which causes pseudobulbar palsy. And here the cranial earlier, along with cranial nerve 5 and 7, that is trigeminal and facial is also affected. So here the all the symptoms like spastic, since it is upper motor neuron, this is spasm of muscles, so spastic dysarthria is present, dysphagia is present. But here the face is affected, that is, it's an expressionless face because the facial nerve is affected here. Okay, and also there is a lot of emotional incontinence here. Emotional issues arise since it is the upper motor neuron, as the higher mental functions are involved. So in bulbar palsy, both these are not affected. That is, the face is normal and there is no emotional issues since it's a lower motor neuron palsy which affects the functioning of the muscles only. So these both conditions can be roughly correlated to a condition called as Jihwasthambha.